Hey guys, Sean Terry here, flip2freedom.com. All right, and today we want to talk about how to eliminate the competition. The big thing out there in the marketplace is everyone knows the market's on fire. Inventory is incredibly low. People are, wholesalers are entering the market in droves right now. They're sending direct mail. They're doing RVM Lead Machine. They're getting on pay-per-click advertising. They're cold calling, and they're hitting sellers from literally every angle. So what happens now is when you show up at the property, a seller has options, right? They have a stack of letters. They've been talking to people. They got other different offers from other companies they're talking to. So the question becomes, how do you differentiate yourself and get the seller to sign with you and only you? All right. So to make that happen, it literally there's a couple different things you can do to get them to literally polarize them to sign with you. First thing is understanding what pre-framing is. Pre-framing is everything you do before the appointment, right? There's a lot of things you can do before the appointment when meeting with the seller. So the bottom line is that most people don't focus on any pre-frame, and when they show up for the appointment, this the first time the seller will meet them. They are coming from like Joe buys houses or Jill buys houses or Sally buys house, whatever the case may be. They're coming from an unbranded standpoint. They show up at the house, they meet the seller, they walk around the property, they do some sort of repairs, look at some sort of repairs number, and then they make an offer, right? And what happens is either the seller will accept the offer or they don't accept the offer, and then there's really no follow-up sequence thereafter. So their conversion rate is low, right? They're not getting contracts like they should be getting contracts. So, and then the seller, think about from the seller's perspective, this is the biggest thing that they're going to do in a lifetime. Typically, a seller only sells 1 to maybe 3 houses in an entire lifetime. So for you and I, it's no big deal because we buy and sell houses all day, every day. For them, it is a massive monumental thing. So for them, they want to pick the right person. They want to make sure that person is someone that they trust, someone that they're confident in, that can get the deal done. So what happens is if someone shows up and they're an unknown, they're unbranded, unknown, nobody knows them, and they're walking through the property, it's going to be very difficult for them to get to build that trust and that respect and that confidence in a 45-minute to an hour meeting. So what happens prior, what's called pre-framing, is incredibly important. So pre-framing is where you have a core list of sellers. And this is your avatar list. This is the sellers that you really want to basically farm, right? And it's going to be your list. And the problem is people bounce around from list to list to list to list instead of really getting a core list that they're going to focus on, and that's going to be their list. And what they do is they surround that seller where they're getting your direct mail pieces branded. They're getting a branded, they go to Facebook and they're going to see you with their branded message there. They're going to see your branded message that's going to come through a cell phone drop called RVM. They're going to get a branded code call, right, that's going to come in. They're going to go on Google, then they're going to see your branded banner that's going to be there. So what happens is they're completely surrounded. They're going to see a branded TV advertisement from you. So what happens is they're going to be completely surrounded. So not only are they going to get a letter, instead of getting one touch, they're going to see you everywhere. And when they see you everywhere and you show up at the door, now they go, oh yeah, I've seen you on TV. Oh yeah, I saw you on Facebook. Oh yeah, I saw you on Google. Oh yeah, I heard you on the radio, or I saw you, from a referral from somebody. So what happens, that's called pre-framing. And your chances increase by 300% of getting that contract versus someone else that just meet for the first time, has no confidence, and, had no trust and no respect and no rapport. So it's incredibly important in that pre-frame to be able to get them to know, like, and trust you. So then when you show up at the appointment, you can get that contract. That's number one. So my question to you is, what are you doing to pre-frame or surround your perfect target of sellers so they see you everywhere? That's number one. Number two is, what are you doing in the house, right? That now that you've pre-framed them, what are you doing in the house? What do you, we have a 9-step seller conversion sequence. We go through, 9 steps to reading the seller like a book, understanding their personality types. I've talked about this. Going through a detailed repair sheet, understanding how to educate them on the comparable sales of how an appraiser. We have an iPad presentation we go through. We have DocuSign, where we DocuSign those, the contracts to them, and everything's branded. Our guys show up with shirts that are branded. They have cards that are branded. They have our presentations are branded. Our contracts are branded. Everything's branded all the way through, and it brings that pre-framed trust right into the appointment. And then from that standpoint, then we understand the process of making them feel comfortable, reading their personality, overcoming the objections, about 16 objections that really will thwart a deal. And you're able to overcome those objections and be able to get the contract signed. So that's what you do in the house. There's what you do before the appointment, after the, during the appointment, and then what you do after the appointment is incredibly important. After the appointment, it's strategic follow-up, right? We give them a credibility packet that we leave with them that tells them all about our company, what we do, how we do it, what we represent, and that credibility pack, no one pretty much leaves that. So now they're thinking about it, right? There's 50% of the population that want to think about it, they want to analyze it, they want to make sure it's the right decision, and they're going to be a little bit slower to committing, but those people can be captured in a follow-up sequence. So if you have a detailed follow-up sequence, with compliance calls that are put in there, with direct mail sequence that are set up, with calling back the seller, doing all these different things in a follow-up sequence, creating your hot sheets, those are important to converting those other 50% of the people that will not sign right there on the dotted line. So when you put all that together, what happens is you'll beat the competition, right? The competition has no chance because they're not doing any pre-framing. They don't understand the 9-step seller conversion sequence. They're not branded all the way through. They don't instill confidence. They go in, they walk through the house, they do a repair sheet, they make some offers, they leave. They don't really have a strategic follow-up sequence that makes sense. And then they wonder why they don't get the contract. And then you come in and you're completely dialed in like a well-oiled machine, and then you walk away with the contract, even at a lower price than someone else offers. That's the incredible, thing. We're getting deals at much lower prices than the competition is because of the confidence we instill in the pre-framing, the 9-step seller conversion sequence, and the follow-up sequence is done after. Those 3 put together gets deals done. And that's exactly what we do. So it's incredibly important because you're spending money on these marketing dollars. You're spending money to generate leads. And if you're not able to optimize those leads, then your profitability margins are going to shrink dramatically. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. God bless.